Ndewo, no, and welcome to your weekly Omnibus. If you've had a busy week and didn't quite get around to listening to the Igbo Daily Drops, this is your chance to catch up. Now you get to hear all 5 episodes from week 25 brought together in one place. Our mission is simple: to raise 10,000 next generation Igbo speakers, and every phrase you practice brings us one step closer. So, whether you're in the car, on a walk, or relaxing at home, let's spend a few minutes inside the Igbo world, through stories, proverbs, and the sentences we learned this week. Ka anyị bido. Let us begin. Nkechi Okorie stirs the pot with her whole shoulder. 81 years old, feet planted in the packed red dust of Mombue Market's covered food section, Libreville, Gabon. Steam rises off the ofe, thick with ogiri and dried fish, fogging the plastic sheeting above her stall. Cutting clean through the diesel smoke drifting in from the car park. Her great-granddaughter, Ijeoma, 7, swings her legs from the stool beside the pot, answering before the question has landed. C'est bon, Mama Nkechi. C'est sucre. Nkechi does not look up from the pot. Kwuo ya n'asụsụ m. Say it in my language. Ijeoma's legs stop swinging. Here is the paradox Nkechi has never once tried to solve. The market outside speaks 4 languages, and none of them is the one she is asking for. And still she asks, every single day, over every single pot. She dips the wooden spoon, blows across it, holds it out. Ijeoma tastes it and pulls a face so deliberately, comically sour that Nkechi's hand freezes mid-air. Nkechi sets the spoon down slowly. She waits. Ndewo? No. I am Yvonne Choma Mbanefo, heritage futurist and daughter of the soil. Welcome to Igbo Daily Drops, episode 121, week 25, day 1, Monday. Today, the taste words keeping a language alive at the world's edge. Ka anyị bido. Let us begin. Ijeoma's face doesn't move this time. She is really tasting. Nkechi watches her narrow her eyes the way her grandmother once narrowed hers at Kola Nut before a title ceremony. The market surges outside. Fang prizes, a moped horn, French laughter. Nkechi sells jollof to office workers and egusi to the 3 Igbo families left here. Most days. Nothing to anyone under 40 who can name what's in the pot. Taped to the tin wall sits a rosary, and beside it, a carved figure her mother pressed into her hand in Owerri in 1968. Nobody has ever asked which one she prays to first. Today, 3 sentences that let you taste something out loud and be believed. Repeat after me. Sentence 1. Ọ na-atọ ụtọ. In English, it is sweet. Ọ na-atọ ụtọ. Ọ na-atọ ụtọ. Ọ na-atọ ụtọ. Sentence 2. Ọjị na-elu ilu. In English, kola nut is bitter. Ọjị na-elu ilu. Ọjị na-elu ilu. Ọjị na-elu ilu. Sentence 3. Achọrọ m ihe na-atọ ụtọ. In English, I want something sweet. Achọrọ m ihe na-atọ ụtọ. Achọrọ m ihe na-atọ ụtọ. Achọrọ m ihe na-atọ ụtọ. These 3 sentences are in your free speaking workbook this week. Download it at learnigbonow.com. If you're driving right now, just listen. The workbook will wait. Ijeoma sets the spoon down. She looks at her great-grandmother, then at the pot, then decides something. Ọ na-atọ ụtọ, she says, unprompted. The vowels rounder than they've ever been in her mouth. Nkechi's hand goes still at the ladle. She doesn't correct anything. There is nothing left to correct. Outside, the generators keep humming. The horns keep sounding. French and Fang keep filling the covered stalls. And under all of it, for one full breath, there is this. Nkechi has spent 81 years learning what this moment is worth. Onye amaghị ihe na-elu ilu, agaghị ama ihe na-atọ ụtọ. Onye amaghị ihe na-elu ilu, agaghị ama ihe na-atọ ụtọ. One who does not know bitterness will not appreciate sweetness. She let the child taste both for this. In Igbo land, our elders never explained why they made us taste bitterness first before sweetness was allowed to mean anything. Emmanuel Emeka Nwoke, Ebonyi State University 2019, found that Igbo survives most precariously where it isn't banned but simply not needed. At the edges, where daily life no longer requires it. The Maori of Aotearoa faced identical mathematics with te reo and answered it the same way. What network theorists now call peripheral node resilience, Igbo grandmothers were practicing over soup pots long before anyone gave it a name. Before this day ends, say ọ na-atọ ụtọ aloud as you taste the next thing that crosses your tongue. Not as practice, as a claim. Bitterness taught Nkechi what sweetness was worth. Let today teach you the same. Every sentence you learn is a drop, and every drop feeds Oke Osimiri Mmụta Igbo, the ocean of Igbo knowledge. Download your free speaking workbook at learnigbonow.com. And if this drop gave you a way home today, leave a rating so another learner can find theirs. This has been your Igbo Daily Drop. Abụ nwanne gị nwanyị Yvonne Choma Mbanefo. I am your sister Yvonne Choma Mbanefo. Ka ọ dị mma gị dị mgbe ilu na-atọ na mgbe ụtọ na-atọ. May it be well with you in bitterness and in sweetness alike. Ka anyị hụ echi. Until we meet again tomorrow. The kitchen sits off Nnebisi Road, Asaba, Delta State, in Emeka Osuji's house. An iron burner hissing under a pot of oha soup. Pepper steam thick enough to sting the eyes. Ijeoma, 62, stands at the stove in her wrapper, spoon raised, a ritual older than their marriage. She dips it, tastes, waits. 30 years she has done this before him. Not because she doubts her hand, but because his verdict has always been the seal. The doctor's letter sits folded on the table beside the salt tin his mother gave them the week they wed at Ogwashuku. Ijeoma holds the spoon towards him. Steam rises between them like something that could still be crossed. His fingers tap once against the folded letter. The paradox he cannot resolve. The salt that has always meant she loves him is now the salt that could kill him. Taste ya, she says. Taste it. He takes the spoon. His hand does not move towards his mouth. Ndewo. No. I am Yvonne Choma Mbanefo, heritage futurist and daughter of the soil. Welcome to Igbo Daily Drops. Episode 122, week 25, day 2, Tuesday. Today, how the vocabulary of seasoning becomes the vocabulary of survival. In an Igbo kitchen, this food is too salty has never been a complaint. It has always been care wearing an apron. Ka anyị bido. Let us begin. Ijeoma has done this every evening since the year they married. Tasted first, so whatever reached Emeka's tongue had already passed her own judgment. This is inyeju diafo, filling the husband's belly. The wife's craft, proper feeding, pride made edible. To season generously was never excess. It was proof this house did not lack. Emeka lowers the spoon back into the pot without tasting. Ijeoma's face does not move, but her hand finds the edge of the counter. Restraint was never on the menu of love. Today, 3 sentences. This is the vocabulary that lets a man protect his heart without wounding hers. Repeat after me. Sentence 1. No dear. In English, it has salt. No dear. No dear. No dear. Emeka says it first, testing how it sounds before it becomes a verdict. Sentence 2. Nnu ṅara nri a. In English, this food is too salty. Nnu ṅara nri a. Nnu ṅara nri a. Nnu ṅara nri a. He sets the spoon down and says it the way Ijoma taught him to say anything difficult. Gently. Once. Sentence 3. Anyị riri nri na-enweghị nnu. In English, we ate food that has no salt. Anyị riri nri na-enweghị nnu. Anyị riri nri na-enweghị nnu. Anyị riri nri na-enweghị nnu. Not I. Anyị. We. These 3 sentences are in your free speaking workbook this week. Download it at learnibonow.com. If you're driving right now, just listen. The workbook will be waiting. Emeka lifts a spoon to his mouth. He tastes it. The same soup, exactly as it has always been. Nnu ṅara nri a, he says. Not loud, not clinical. The way he once told her the canoe was taking on water at Ogwashuku, and they had to sit very still together. Ijoma looks at him. She does not argue. She adds a little water, then more oha leaves, more ground cocoyam to thicken it back, rebuilding the pot around the wound, stirring, watching the salt lose its grip. Neither of them calls it sacrifice. What happened at that stove was never a correction. Di na nwunye gbaa izu, ibe ji aghọọ nnukwu nri. Di na nwunye gbaa izu, ibe ji aghọọ nnukwu nri. When husband and wife confer together, even a piece of yam becomes abundant food. The pot did not shrink. It began speaking a language they both now share. I have watched women taste the food in the pot before their husbands for a reason nobody explains aloud. It is not humility. It is guardianship. Sister Joseph Therese Abasiere, in her 2000 ethnography, Women in Igbo Life and Thought, by Rutledge, names this Ikwachidi, a wife's sacred duty to shield her husband's vulnerability, even from illness. Yoruba market women carried the same silent authority, protecting a household's dignity through what they chose to serve. What Igbo wives practice as Ikwachidi for centuries, modern medicine now calls caregiver-led dietary management. The pot was never just food. It was the first hospital this marriage ever had. Before this day ends, say Nnu ṅara nri a aloud to someone who has fed you generously as you taste what they made. Conferring is not correction. It is how a marriage keeps feeding both people at the table. Every sentence you learn is a drop, and every drop feeds Oke Osimiri Mmụta Igbo, the ocean of Igbo knowledge. Grab your free speaking workbook at learnibonow.com. This has been your Igbo Daily Drop. Abụ nwanne gị nwaanyị Yvonne Choma Mbanefo. I am your sister Yvonne Choma Mbanefo. Ka ịhụnanya unu na-atọ ụtọ dịka nri esiri nke ọma. May your love always taste as good as a meal made with care. Ka anyị hụ echi. Until we meet again tomorrow. Chukwuemeka Ibe kneels on a tap in a rented hall in Malmö, Sweden. Customs forms creased in his coat pocket. One tuber lies before him, the ceremonial G, hand-selected by his uncle outside Owerri, cold from 6 days in a shipping container that crossed 2 continents and 1 North Sea crossing. Outside, sleet needling the windows. Inside, 60 people who paid for tickets to a New Yam festival the community moved from August to November. Because August is exam season and nobody's father can get the day off work. No yam farm within 1,000 miles, and now not even the right month. He unfolds his pocket knife. The hall goes quiet enough to hear the radiator tick. This is absurd, and everyone knows it, and no one says so. The paradox nobody names. A festival honoring a harvest that happened 4 months ago and 8,000 kilometers away. He cuts. He looks. His jaw tightens. The whole hall leans forward on one held exhale, waiting for a verdict about a vegetable that will decide whether this is a festival or an apology. Ndewo. No. I am Yvonne Choma Mbanefo, heritage futurist and daughter of the soil. Welcome to Igbo Daily Drops, episode 123, week 25, day 3, Wednesday. Today, the physical weight of fullness. There is no yam farm within 1,000 miles of Malmö. Yet, Iriji happens there every year. Because the festival was never about the yam, but the community that makes abundance possible. Ka anyị bido? Let us begin. The rest of tonight's yam, sacks of it, came weeks ago from an Afro-Caribbean grocer over the bridge in Copenhagen. Malmö's own shop doesn't stock enough for 60 plates. The ceremonial tuber is different. Hand-picked, traveling alone, because an ordinary market yam wouldn't carry the same weight in front of the hall. Chukwuemeka checked it himself at the airport warehouse, working from his mother's checklist. Firm skin, no sponginess at the ends, weight in the hand like a held breath. Elder Ikedi, 78, watches from a plastic chair near the radiator, arms folded, unimpressed by the theater of it. She has tested yams by hand since before this hall had a name. Cut it already, she says. Nobody laughs. Nobody needed to. Today, 3 sentences. The words for the exact moment a body tells you whether something has gone right. Repeat after me. Sentence 1. Ji adị arọ. In English, this yam is heavy or dense. Ji adị arọ. Ji adị arọ. Ji adị arọ. Some dialects say ji ana-anyị arọ. So ịnyị arọ and ịdị arọ mean the same thing. Chukwuemeka says it under his breath before he says it aloud. Sentence 2. Ọ dị arọ. In English, it is heavy. The verdict itself, ọ dị arọ. Ọ dị arọ. Ọ dị arọ. He says it to the whole hall, and the hall breathes out together. Sentence 3. Afọ ejula anyị. In English, our stomachs are full. Afọ ejula anyị. Afọ ejula anyị. Afọ ejula anyị. Hours later, plates empty. Someone says it for all of them. These 3 sentences are in your free speaking workbook this week. Download it at learnigbonow.com. By evening, the pots are empty and the children are asleep, on coats piled in the corner. Chukwuemeka sits with a plate he hasn't finished, listening to Elder Ikedi tell of her first Iriji in Owerri, 60 years and 1 ocean ago. He rubs his palms together, yam starch still under his nails, and understands that the danger was never really the shipping container. What filled that hull wasn't shipped from Lagos. Ọ bụghị naanị ala na amị ji. Ọ bụ mmụọ gbakọrọ ọnụ na-eri ya. Ọ bụghị naanị ala na amị ji. Ọ bụ mmụọ gbakọrọ ọnụ na-eri ya. It is not only the soil that yields the yam, it is the gathered people or spirits who eat it. In Igbo land, the elders never measured a yam by its weight alone. They measured it by how many hands it would reach. Igbokwe and Ahumareze. Journal of African Studies and Sustainable Development, 2019. Document Iriji as an Igbo practice that migrates intact. Lagos to London to now Malmö, Sweden. Structural twin to America's Thanksgiving of 1621. What Igbo communities have always done: rebuild the festival to survive whatever breaks it. Performance scholars Ukpokolo, Okoye, and Lawuyi named a social drama in 2018. The yam was never the ceremony. The rebuilding was. If you want to practice these sentences with your children, the Igbo Village Speaking Gym will soon be open. Before this day ends, press your palm against something heavy, a pot, a book, a full bag, and say, Odiaro aloud. Not wait, proof the gathering held. Every sentence you learn is a drop, and every drop feeds Oko Osimiri Mmụta Igbo, the ocean of Igbo knowledge. Grab your free speaking workbook at learnigbonow.com. This has been your Igbo Daily Drop. Abụ nwanne gị nwanyị Yvonne Chioma Mbanefo. I am your sister Yvonne Chioma Mbanefo. Ka ndị gbara gị gburugburu bụrụ ihe na-eju gị afọ mgbe niile. May the people gathered around you always be what fills you up. Ka anyị hụ echi. Until we meet again tomorrow. Court Street, Hillbrow, Johannesburg, 6:15. Nkiru Adeyebe stirs jollof rice, counting shutters with her other hand. 2 doors down, the phone shop is welded shut, steel bars crossed like a warning. Her counter stays open, its bulb throwing a small gold circle onto the pavement. She smells of camwood and pepper soup, 2 trades. A woman surviving on more than 1 trade. A man hovers where the light stops. Nigerian. She knows by his shoulders. Tight. Ready to run. He will not cross into the gold circle. Bia, she says, not loud. Come. He does not move. His eyes go to the shuttered shop, then back to her. Nkiru wipes her hand on her apron and speaks again. Plain as bread. Bia rie nri dị ụtọ. Come and eat tasty food. The paradox sits between them, unresolved. An open door on a street teaching people to disappear. He takes 1 step forward, then another. Ndewo. No. I am Yvonne Choma Mbanefo, heritage futurist and daughter of the soil. Welcome to Igbo Daily Drops, episode 124, week 25, day 4, Thursday. Today, hospitality as the line that will not move. When it is dangerous to be visibly foreign, an open food counter is a declaration. Ka anyị bido. Let us begin. He sits on the stool regulars lean past. She ladles jollof, meat and fried plantain without asking. She stopped asking 3 weeks ago, when the second shop closed. The welded shutters catch the last light like a scar healing wrong. Anyị nwere osikapa jollof dị ọkụ, she says. We have hot jollof rice. He nods, still watching the door. Nkiru's uncle used to say a locked gate feeds no one, not even the man behind it. She only understood that line once she started counting shutters. Today, 3 sentences, words that turn a counter into a room where no one has to be afraid. Repeat after me. Sentence 1. Bia rie nri dị ụtọ. In English, come and eat tasty food. Bia rie nri dị ụtọ. Bia rie nri dị ụtọ. Bia rie nri dị ụtọ. No volume, no drama, just an open hand. Sentence 2. Biko, detụ ofe m ọnụ. In English, please taste my soup. Biko, detụ ofe m ọnụ. Biko, detụ ofe m ọnụ. Biko, detụ ofe m ọnụ. He tastes it. His shoulders drop. Sentence 3. Ọ bụ nri ọma. In English, it is good food. Ọ bụ nri ọma. Ọ bụ nri ọma. Ọ bụ nri ọma. She says it like a small blessing over his plate. These 3 sentences are in your free speaking workbook this week. Download it at learnigbonow.com. If you're driving right now, just listen. The workbook will be waiting. 4 minutes pass. Rice, soup, tomato prices. Nothing said about the welded shop. Nothing about the ones who left last week. He finishes, unhurried this time. He offers change. She waves it down, then takes it when he insists. Pride matters too. Ọ bụ nri ọma, she tells him. He repeats it, testing the words before stepping into the dark street, standing a little taller. What just passed between them has a name older than tonight's fear. Ndị Igbo say, Onye riwe ya nyetụ nwanne ya. Onye riwe ya nyetụ nwanne ya. One who eats should give to his brother or his kinsman. Sharing was never optional, never only for the safe. In Igbo land, we say that what is on your plate is already halfway to your neighbors. Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Metu Ebule, Alex Ekweme Federal University Ndufu Alike Ikwo, documents it plainly in 2019. No one denies a neighbor or kinsman, stranger included, of what they have. Sharing is paramount in Igbo life. This counter would be recognized in Soweto, where Ubuntu, I am because we are, says the same thing in a different tongue. What elders encoded as obligation, 20th century economists later renamed social capital. Hospitality under threat isn't sentiment. It's infrastructure that refuses to fail. Before this day ends, say, Bịa rie nri dị ụtọ aloud as you set a plate down for someone. Not as practice, as a declaration. Sharing was never only for the safe days. Every sentence you learn is a drop, and every drop feeds Oke Osimiri Mmụta Igbo, the ocean of Igbo knowledge. Grab your free speaking workbook at learnibonow.com. This has been your Igbo Daily Drop. Abụ nwanne gị nwanyị Yvonne Choma Mbanefo. I am your sister Yvonne Choma Mbanefo. Ka ahụ gị bụrụ ebe nchekwa ndị ọzọ. May your body be a place of safety for someone else. Ka anyị hụ echi. Until we meet again tomorrow. Ijeoma Nwadike is 26. Barefoot on the cold tile of her kitchen off Memorial Drive, Atlanta, when Auntie Uzamaka wheels in a suitcase smelling of camphor and something dried and fish sharp. 2 connecting flights, customs in Houston, a square ziplock of Abacha wedged flat between blouses, past a customs officer who didn't ask twice. Auntie Uzamaka doesn't hug first. She opens the fridge, counting what isn't there. No dried fish, no mackerel, no okporoko rattling in a jar. Only a fillet of salmon, pink under plastic wrap, bought for a recipe Ijeoma never got round to. She lifts it out, turns it once in her hand like she's reading it. This one will do, she says, already reaching for the pan. Ijeoma opens her mouth to explain. Wrong fish, wrong dish, wrong everything, and closes it again. The palm oil starts to hiss. Ndewo? No. I am Yvonne Choma Mbanefo, heritage futurist and daughter of the soil. Welcome to Igbo Daily Drops, episode 125, week 25, day 5, Friday. Today, a story of a meal and a fish that saved it. Abacha made with salmon in Atlanta is not a lesser dish. It is proof it was never about the fish. Ka anyị bido. Let us begin. The salmon calls gold at the edges. And Amaka doesn't measure anything. Pepper by feel. Ehuru rubbed fine between 2 fingers. She flakes the fish onto the softened abacha, folds it through the uba and shredded utazi. In Owerri, the fish arrives dried and stiff from Onitsha market, not pink from a Kroger 3 miles away. She puts some of the abacha on her palm and tastes it. She doesn't smile. She just nods once, like something has been settled that was never in question. Today, 3 sentences. 3 sentences that let you tell someone exactly what happened at the table and who was there for it. Repeat after me. Sentence 1. Anyị gara usekwu. In English, we went to the kitchen. Anyị gara usekwu. Anyị gara usekwu. Anyị gara usekwu. Ijeoma didn't go anywhere tonight. The kitchen came to her, suitcase and all. Sentence 2. Afọ ejulam. In English, I am full. Afọ ejulam. Afọ ejulam. Afọ ejulam. She eats the last forkful slower than the first. This is not hunger anymore. It is something else being fed. Sentence 3. Ha riri nri ọma. In English, they ate good food. Ha riri nri ọma. Ha riri nri ọma. Ha riri nri ọma. Later, this is the only sentence Auntie Amaka will let her say about tonight. Ijeoma takes the first bite standing up. Fork still in the pan. It should be wrong. Salmon has no business inside Abacha. Everyone knows this. And yet, the fat carries the ehuru exactly the way mackerel would have. Maybe better. She looks up at her aunt, already washing the knife, unbothered, as if she has done nothing remarkable at all. Ijeoma laughs once, disbelieving, mouth still full. Auntie Amaka doesn't look up. What just happened at that stove has a name older than either of them. Nkụ dị na mba na-eghere mba nri. Nkụ dị na mba na-eghere mba nri. The firewood available in a town is what cooks the town's food. The tool changes. What it is for never does. Dr. Emmanuel K. Anizoba in Ordinary, the Igbo religion, argues a practice's material form must flex with its environment. As he puts it, We cook our food with the firewood at our disposal. Vietnamese refugee cooks reaching for Thai basil when rao ram wasn't growing nearby solved the same problem. Continents apart. What Igbo cooks encoded as omenala generations ago, anthropologists only named adaptive foodways in the 1990s. Fidelity was never the fish. It was always the fire. Before this day ends, say "Ha riri nri ọma" aloud as you clear tonight's plate, not as practice, as a declaration. The firewood was never the fish. It was always the willingness to reach for what's actually there. Every sentence you learn is a drop, and every drop feeds Oke Osimiri Mmụta Igbo, the ocean of Igbo knowledge. Grab your free speaking workbook at learnibonow.com. Rate us wherever you're listening. Your review is how another learner finds their way home. This has been your Igbo Daily Drop. Abụ nwanne gị nwanyị Yvonne Chioma Mbanefo. I am your sister Yvonne Chioma Mbanefo. Ka ahụ gị nwee ihe ọ ga-eri mgbe niile. May your body always have what it will eat all the time. Ka anyị hụ echi. Until we meet again tomorrow. And that brings us to the end of this week's Igbo Daily Drops Omnibus. If a sentence or proverb stayed with you today, take a moment to say it again out loud. Every phrase you practice keeps the language alive. Remember, every sentence you learn is a drop, and every drop feeds Oke Osimiri Mmụta Igbo, the ocean of Igbo knowledge. If you'd like to practice these lessons further, download the speaking workbook at learnibonow.com. Until tomorrow's drop, Abụ nwanne gị nwanyị Yvonne Chioma Mbanefo. I am your sister Yvonne Chioma Mbanefo. Ka chi gị duo gị ọfụma. May your chi guide you well.